Hello everyone, this is Talal Hussain and today we are going to talk about the last tips for SAT December 2024. Yes, this is a much awaited video and a very important one. In this video, I'll share with you guys 11 tips, 11 things that I want you to remember on your test day or before your test day just to make your test a success. It's very important that we understand even after a preparation of 3 months, even after a preparation of 2 months, if we do not take care of some of the things that are very important for the last moment, we might miss out on those top scores that we really look forward to. So today we are going to talk about those 11 things. Hopefully I'll try to explain you what you should be careful about, what you should take care of when you going for the SAT. So the first point or the first tip that I have for you guys is that you should make sure that your device is charged and it is all right. So it is very important because obviously it is digital SAT, right? So if it is digital SAT, it's very important whether you're carrying a laptop or you're carrying your iPad or whichever device you're carrying, it's important that your device is fully charged and you should know that there is no problem with it. Because if your device malfunctions during the test, even if they give you another device, even if they help you out, you will waste a lot of time, right? So that is very important that you and the hassle obviously will create a lot of things that it will make it difficult for you and it will undermine your score, or it can undermine your score. So just to save yourself from all of that hassle, just make sure your device is fully charged and it is perfectly all right. It has no technical error, it has no error that might bother you on the test day. Just that is the first thing. So your device is everything on the test day. Just make sure you are familiar with it. The device is all charged when you take it, and you take the charger with you. That is also very important. So the next thing is that you have to make sure before going over there you have the Blue Book software downloaded. Now obviously most of you go through the practice test, most of you have solved those practice tests, and it is obviously understood that you would already have Blue Book installed on your laptop or on your device, but still it's very important because at times students tend to switch their devices. They take some other device and they were practicing on some other device, or for whatever reason, just make sure that the device you are taking to on the test has Blue Book installed in it, has Blue Book in it, and it is working fine. And with that, you perfectly remember your credentials, because you have to give the test from your credentials, and if you don't have it, if you forget it, then again it may waste a lot of time. So just save yourself from all of those things. Make sure that you are apt and you guys are fit with everything, and whatever is going on, and just make sure that you do not forget anything. So that's very important that you download the Blue Book app. Now the next thing is that you make sure that you carry all the documents. Now when I talk about the documents, the most important document obviously is your admission ticket. Then it is for international students especially, it is your passport, a valid passport, and along with that your ID card, your college card, or anything that proves that shows your identity. Along with that you may take your stationery with you, or anything that is required on the test day. You'll find that list on the College Board website for all the things that you need on the test day. Just make sure you have it prepared, right? Just make sure you have it ready before the test day. Don't wait until Friday night. Just make sure you have it ready today or maybe tomorrow. Just get done with it as soon as possible, right? So this is very important that firstly what are the documents that are required over there, and then you have it all ready, you have it all in place, right? So that is very important. The fourth thing is a proper sleep. I have seen many students who were good with their concepts, who knew what to do, who knew how to go about it, but just because they were not fresh, they did not get that proper sleep, they goofed up on the test and they messed it up. And on the other hand, I have taught many students who were a little shady and who were a little shaky about a few concepts, right? But they were very fresh and they improvised because they had a proper sleep on the test before the test day. So just make sure you have at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep before the test day. It's difficult, I know, I understand your position, But again, it's very important to have a proper sleep before the test day. Just make sure you have it, make sure you have it scheduled and you sleep early and you get that proper sleep so that you are fresh, you are alert on the test day. That will count a lot, that will help you a lot. Even if you are, if you're scoring 1550, if you're scoring 1560, you have all of those scores, even then I would request that you get a proper sleep on before the test day. Now, this is a very important point. Now, there are a lot of people over there, whichever you are, whether you're going for your school test or you're going to a test center, obviously there are going to be a lot of people over there, and that might cause you a little bit of extra anxiety as well. But to, minimize that, the way to minimize that is to, avoid any hassle that is possible. So one of the ways you can do that is that you reach early on the test center or the college, wherever you have to go, right? So whatever is the reporting time, normally it is somewhere around 7:30 or 7:45. So whatever is your reporting time, whatever is the time that you have to report over there, just make sure you get at least 30 minutes before that on the test center. At least 30 minutes before that on the test center. It is very important for you to do that, right? So this is something very important, and obviously you have to calculate everything in order to do that. So if you have to reach there 30 minutes before the reporting time, then obviously you have to see the distance the test center is from your home, and then accordingly calculate the time it will take for you to travel that distance, and then leave your house accordingly, right? So all of this is very important, and you have to plan all of these things out, right? It won't take much of your time, but it will have a big impact overall on the test, right? So just make sure that you're going through all of these things and you're doing all of these things. These are going to help you a lot. These will get you those minor improvements that will get your score to where you want, and these little things will add up and give you a lot of benefit. So moving on. Yeah, so this is again very important that you're energetic on the test day, right? So if you're feeling, if you do not have that energy on the test day, obviously it's going to be a problematic. So it's good that you take a good breakfast, you take a nice breakfast before the test day, so that you are alert on the test day, and it will help you a lot in thinking, and because you have to read a lot, you have to solve all of those math questions, those difficult questions of math. You have to do all of those things. So in order to do that, you have to be fresh, you have to be energized. You can even take your snacks and have them in the break that you'll have between the two modules, after the reading and writing and before the math session. So this is very important that you get a good breakfast. Now, a proper backpack. I talked to you guys about the documents that you have to take. Just make sure you have a bag sorted out, right? You take a bag over there. In that bag, you'll have your calculator, and just make sure when you talk about calculator, the calculator is an approved one. So you have a calculator, you have all of your documents, you have everything that you need for the test in that bag ready a day before at least the test, so that you just have to take that bag with you and you have everything sorted out, right? So just make sure you have everything you need for the test day in that bag, so that you have to just make sure you do everything to take you out of that hassle, and this is one of the things that you can do. Now, yeah, it's very important that you at least go through the approaches once, right? So that for every section you have you have some subtopics. So if you talk about reading and writing, for example, so if you talk about standard English conventions, you have boundaries, form, structure, and sense. Similarly, if you talk about other topics, you have subtopics related to them. So just revise the approaches once. Just make sure that you talk about all the approaches at least once. You see and go through all of those approaches. And one of the best way to do this is that you go topical, and you solve just one question from every topic, right? I know you guys must have solved many tests. Just figure out at least one question from every topic, reading and writing and math combined, and solve at least one question from every topic. What that will do is that will let you know how a question from a particular topic looks like, and as soon as you get it on the test, right, you'll know the approach. It will click back the approach that you needed for that test, and it will review. And if you get any problem while revising, you can always go back and read it, and be fully prepared for the test day, right? Obviously there may be a few things that you might not be knowing or you might not be 100% comfortable with, and that's perfectly all right. There are a few topics that we are not 100% comfortable with, but that does not mean that it will stop you from doing those questions or solving those questions on the test day, right? So you will do those questions on the test day. Don't worry about it, right? Just do as much as you can. Don't overdo it. Just make sure you have a plan. If you have a plan, it will, prevent you from exhausting and burning yourself out. So just make sure you go through that plan and make it simple. Just go through one question of every topic before the test day, right? That's going to be very important. This is very important. This topic is very important, and it will save you from, a lot of problems. Now, thing is, when students, they go through their tests, right? So for example, if I solve the first module of the reading and writing, or if I solve both the modules of reading and writing, right? For example, I feel like that, it did not go well, right? There are a few students who might, feel like it did not go well, right? So even if it did not go well, do not carry that stress. Do not carry that, pressure onto the math section. Don't keep on thinking about your reading and writing section in your math section. However did it go, right? It is possible that, the paper in and of itself was difficult, and on the percentile basis, the impact of that difficult paper might be on everyone who gave the test, right? So it's not going to be you alone who is going to face that, right? So there is a possibility that a majority of students, feel the same. So why screw your other sections because of one particular section, just because you feel like it did not go well? Maybe, you did perform over there, but, you just cannot recognize what you're doing. So that's how it is. Whatever you do on one section, just leave it over there. And when you move on to the next section, when you move on to the next module, start every module in a way that, you are doing that is the first module of the test. Every module that you start, just make sure that particular module is the first module of the test, and that will give you the liberty and that will give you the freedom to solve it in a way that is unparalleled, and you'll score the maximum that you can, right? And it will help you a lot. If you keep on thinking about the previous sections as you move on, it is going to hurt you a lot, and it will never let you go to the maximum score improvement that you deserve and that you can achieve, right? So that is what it is. Do not carry that feedback, right? Yes, this is very important. Now, I have used the word social media over here, but what I mean to say is that before the test day, avoid all distractions. Avoid all sorts of distractions, whether it is social media, whether it is any other form of media, whether it is your friends, whether it is anyone else, whether it is anything else. Just try to avoid distractions as much as possible. Do not get yourself into anything that might confuse you. Do not get yourself into anything that is new. Do not worry about, I have students who worry about, getting something new on the last moment so that it might help you on the test. No, if you have prepared for 2 months, if you have prepared for 1 month, or even if you have prepared for a particular time, then you have gone through all the necessities and basics of the test, and you know what is going to go on in the test. So, you'll get nothing on the last moment. So you don't have to worry about it at all, right? Just make sure you revise all that you have done. There is nothing left to improvise. There is nothing left to experiment. Just make sure you do not go through anything, especially the groups on other social media accounts like, Facebook, Reddit, or whatever. That will only clutter your brain, and that will only, stop you from achieving what you can, right? So just avoid all of those distractions, avoid all of those things so that, you can move ahead. And lastly, it's very important when you are solving the test, right? You have to know your strengths. And when you know your strength, it will help you in scoring high, it will help you in time management, it will help you in getting the score improvement that you're looking for, right? So it's not important. For example, if you get your reading and writing question first, so if you have that reading and writing questions first, it's not important that you solve the paper in order that it has been provided to you. And if you have your expertise in some particular components, I would always advise you to start with those components first. Normally, students are better, or they can score better on the standard English convention questions, expression of ideas questions. So what I advise my students is to start with your writing part, and do those questions in 30 seconds, 40 seconds, so that, you can make extra 30-40 seconds for the reading questions. And then when you're done with them, you start with the reading questions, and you'll have, if you manage to do those questions in less amount of time, you'll have that extra time on the reading section, and you can do them more comfortably, as compared to if you start with them and you solve them in a hurry. Relatively, it may give you an upper hand, it may give you a comparative edge. So the point is that you have to make sure that you do your strengths, you solve your strengths first, right? And then move on to your weaknesses, right? Or the parts that are weak. And if you're good with everything, if you feel like you're confident with every question type, then it is up to you, whichever way you want to start, or whichever way you feel like doing it. That's completely all right. That is fine, right? So that was the last one. That was the 11th tip that I have for you guys for the test. So these are this is inherently all about what you need to remember for the test day on the last day. And if you go through all of these things one day before the test, it is going to help you a lot. It is going to push you a lot towards that test, right? You have worked a lot, you have worked very hard, you have solved so many questions, you have solved so many tests. Now it's all about giving and performing in those 2-3 hours, right? Because if you practice a lot and you do not perform on the test day, obviously it's going to be of no use, right? So it's very important to make the best use of that time. And if you take care of all of these steps, you will be able to make sure you will be able to make the most out of that time, right? So I hope all of these tips, all of these things will help you a lot, right? If you have any other problem, you can mention that in the comment section, and we'll try to help you out as soon as we can. So best of luck for your test, guys. Best of luck for December set. I hope you guys get the scores that you want and get in the universities that you're looking forward to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.